Hello everybody, Steven here with Cardboard Coalition, and today I figured I'd bring you, or we figured we'd bring you, how to play a Verdant. Now, it's published or put out by AEG. I think in the unboxing I kept saying Plaid Hat. It's actually Flatout Games. I don't know why I had the other one in my head, but this is a 30 to 45 minute game for 1 to 5 players and ages 10 plus. All right, let's go ahead and jump into this. So as usual, let's jump into the setup. So first thing you want to do is you want to put out your bag. Well, in the instructions, it tells you to take all your tokens, your nutrients, and your items and put them in the bag. I just store them all in the bag. It's just a quick way to do it. But anyways, it says to put them all in the bag, give it a good shake, and then you go ahead and put them out. It tells you to put the bag right here so everybody can reach it, and you put them out. Now, I will say right now, right in the beginning, if you've played Cascadia, this should seem familiar. As another Fallout Games game. It's a really popular one. And then Calico, which I haven't played, might be familiar. But this seems very familiar to me to Cascadia in some ways on the setup. So anyways, put everything in here, shake it up, put your items and your nutrients in here, shake it up, and you put out 4. Then you go ahead and you get your plant cards, which are up here. You give them a shuffle and you put 4 plant cards out. Then after that, you take the room cards, you give them a shuffle, you put the 4 room cards out. Once you have that done, then you go ahead and set up the Verdant markers and the green thumbs. And I will say this is considered the market, right? This all right here is the market. I consider this stuff part of the market too, but anyways, they want you to know that market's complete. So here's your Verdant tokens. This counts as 3 points. The smaller ones, lighter color count is 1. And then these are your green thumbs. You go ahead and you put those out. Once those are out, you go ahead and you put out your pots. And it tells you, where is this? Here we go. It tells you right here, gives you a little chart right here. And you can see, depending on player, 1 player, 2, 3, right? We're doing a 2-player, so we're putting 3 of each and all the terracotta pots. So we want to put 3, 3, 3 in all the terracotta. And just so you guys know, these are points, right? So there's 3, 2, 1. Those are bonuses. Once those all run out, you have all your terracotta plants put out. Once that's done, you give each person 2 player aids. Now it's 2-sided. You give each person 1 or 2, and then they flip them over so they have it set up. You give them 1 storage card. I'll show you something here. Storage, you can only store 1 item and 5 green thumbs. So you get a storage card. Once everybody has that, you go ahead and you give each player 1 room card and 1 plant card, just randomly. Give them to the players. And once you figure that out, you go ahead and you decide who's getting green, or who's the first player. And once you figure out who the first player is, then you figure out who gets green thumbs. So you figure out the first player by the highest Verdant, I might say Verdant a lot, but Verdant number. So our player to our right has a 6. All right, you got this number right here. So that means they have to get 6 Verdant to be able to pot that plant, or Verdancy to pot that plant, and they have 4. So the player to our right is our first player. First player to the left gets 2 green thumbs, and the other player gets 1 green thumb. All right, so now we have one more thing to talk about and set up. This is the advanced mode. So if you're going to do the advanced mode, looks like the camera kind of adjusted a little bit on me, but if you're going to do the advanced mode, you go out and put out 1 of each of these cards. And how you do that is you take their respective decks, you shuffle them up and put out 1 for each one. So you got plant goals, you have item goals, and then you have room goals. These are just extra bonus scoring abilities. And they say to do that with the advanced. Shuffle them up and you go ahead and put them out. So we won't talk about these as much because it's just the advanced mode, right? All right. So now we have everything set up. Plus, if we were playing advanced, we have the advanced set up. I go ahead and put out the score pad so everybody can see it and we could talk about it. That was weird. All right. So now it's time to play. So before the first player takes their turn, what we do at the start of the game is we look at these cards. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the stuff on these cards now. This tells you what kind of light that the plant needs to get verdancy, which just means, I think verdancy means a lot of greenery. So it tells you the different sun types they want. This tells you the type of plant it is. There's different colors for different types of plants. That's a picture of the plant. This, I believe, is a little saying about the plant. Actually, in the rule book, I threw it off to the side, but in the rule book, it has a whole rundown about where the plants are indigenous to and stuff like that. If you've played Cascadia, same thing with the animals, and they give you that extra information. This is your verdancy. You want to hit that. You want to have that many tokens on here to be able to pot the plant, right? And then that means you get those points. Those are your points you would win at the end of the game. So there's the plant, and then this is how rooms are set up. You have what side of the room has what kind of sunlight. These two have half. I think that means none, and that means full sunlight, right? This is one item can be placed there. If you match, you get a double your bonus. This is the bonus you get for matching plants up. See that plant there? Do we have any of these plants out? I don't have one of these plants out. But if you have every place that you have one of these plants, you get a score bonus, but we'll talk about at the end. And if you match this, you can get the score bonus, and it's by matching colors. So if someone happens to get the doggy and put it there at the end, they've matched, right? All right. So those are the two cards. Now, like I said, before anybody starts, you go ahead and you can adjust your room and your plant. Now, these are going to be set up in a 3x5. You're making a 3x5 grid. 3 rows, 5 columns, right? So obviously there's not enough room here to really show it because I'm trying to get it all in. I'm actually zoomed out on the camera so I can show everything. Anyways, so I go ahead and look on here. I got full sun, half sun, and no sunlight. So I can decide to put this plant anywhere on here, but for convenience sake, let's go ahead and say I put it right here, and you do this simultaneously. Both players do it at the same time. Now that I've matched this up, this gets 1 verdancy. So you get 1 on there. Then let's go ahead and look at this one. This one actually needs to be adjusted because this one has half and no light, or little light. I'm assuming that's little light. So we'll go ahead and put this here. We could also put it up here if we wanted. We'll put this here. That gives it 1 verdancy. Yay, we're ready to go. All right, now, everyone has done this, all players do it, and then it's the first player's turn to go. Now, there are things that they can do on their turn. The first thing it's really easy to keep in mind is to pick 1 token and 1 associated card, either the top card or the bottom card. Top card, bottom card, top card, bottom card, top. So if I pick this, I'd have to either pick this card or this card, right? I pick one of the two. So let's go ahead and say, just so we can get this going, we pick this and we pick this. Player 1 does. Now, was it a bad move? It might have been, but I'm just trying to kind of show you guys. So then you place right here. And then if you got a token, this was a token that matched, you could place it here, here, or you could put a token right here. So and you can only have 1. So you go ahead and place your token down. Now the other, you could use the token right away if you wanted, but if I remember right with this symbol, we wouldn't want to use it right away. So let's go there. So you place them. Once you've picked your card and your token and you've placed them, you go ahead and get a new token out. Oh, it's another nutrient token. So these green ones are nurture. I'll keep calling them nutrients, but nurture tokens. So they do special things. These are items, and we'll talk about how we set those here in a second. And we pull a card from here. We put it right here. Then the last thing we do is any card in that column left gets an extra green thumb. So if someone grabs this card, they get that extra green thumb. All right. So once you place something down like this, right, you also do the verdancy. So as you can see, I set it so there's, let's say, hardly any sunlight, little sunlight. Little sunlight, I can put another verdancy down there. And remember, once I hit 6, I can pick a potted plant and put it on here. Now you want to start with the top ones because those are the most points. And I would go like that. Then if I had 6, right? If I had 6 of these, and I would put all these back. But we don't have that right now, so we can't. All right. Now I'm just making a mess. All right. Once that's all done, it goes to the next player. Now, let's go ahead and jump into some of the things that we can do. So it goes, like I told you, what you want to do is you want to place the room or the plant. Then you want to place the item or use the item. If you have an item like this, right, you can use the item. Now there's different things they do. With this one, this is why I said I would probably want to save this item and maybe use it later. If you use this item, what it says is you pick a room, and then for this one, every room around it gets 1 verdancy. So if we had a plant here, and plant here, they would eat, all 4 of them would get 1 verdancy, right? If we use this. Now, if there weren't, let's say we just used it right now, right? Only this plant right here, we'd say, oh, we got this item, we use it. This plant would get verdancy, right? And you just get rid of this token. And you can do that, right? But I was saying you might want to save it for later. So this one is the verdancy on all different corners. I believe, yep, it shows you right here. So we can run just off this to show you. That's awesome. All right, the other item that we have that we can use here is we have the fertilizer. So that was the watering can. We have the fertilizer. It says add up to 3 verdancy to 1 plant. So we could just pick a plant and give it verdancy, right? So if this person got it, they could decide this. It could be any plant. You don't have to say, okay, this room. It could be any plant. With the water can, you pick a room and go from there. All right, you do the adjacent. Now the last one, I was gonna pull it out, but we'll just use the card here to show you guys. Let's see, focus, is we have the hand trowel, and it adds 1 verdancy to up to 3 plants. So any plants in your house, you can add 1 verdancy to any 3 plants. You just pick them, they don't have to be connected to a room. Now the water plant, right, it says add 1 verdancy to any of the plants adjacent to a single room. So you have to pick a room for the water plant, or for the water can, sorry. So those are your 3 nutrient things you can do. The other thing is items. So let's go ahead and let player 2 take a turn. So let's say player 2 is looking at their options they have up here, and they're trying to think of what they want to do, what kind of things they have going, and they go ahead and decide to go with this and this. Now they would place that, right? They would get a verdancy because that works. So they can go like that. They can place their animal, and of course they'd want to place it right here because it matches up, and that helps scoring at the end. Only 1 item could be put on any of the cards either, and you can't change items. Once the card's there, it's there. So we have that. Now, like as usual, you go ahead and flip a card over. You grab in the bag and you pull out, looks like we got more nutrients. Put that out, and you put a green thumb on the other card in the column that wasn't picked. So you go like that. Now, you might be asking, well, there's all these green thumbs. What do we do with these green thumbs, right? How can we use green thumbs? Well, we have that right here too, right in front of us. So it takes 2 green thumbs, and you could do certain things. You can replace any number of tokens. So if you don't like the tokens that are out, you can replace any number, 1, 2, 4, whatever you want. Costs 2 green thumbs to do this though, remember that, right? Replace any number of cards, right? So what you could do is you can go ahead and you look through the cards and you decide what cards you like or you don't like, right? Like, I like this card, I don't like that card, and you can replace them, right? So if you replace cards, green thumbs go away, right? So if I were to replace this card, green thumb goes away. It just works that way. All right. Which I guess makes sense because you're changing things up. Now, the next thing is draft any card plus token. right? So you can spend 2 green thumbs, and I can say I want to pick this card and this token if you have 2 green thumbs. Remember, you can only keep 5, so you do want to spend them. All right, and then the last one is for 2 green thumbs, you can add 1 verdant seed to any plant. So you can spend 2 and give a plant 1 verdant seed. You can put that on any plant. So that's how you use the green thumbs. Now, you keep going until player after player keeps going until everyone has a, it'd be 15, right? Yep, a 15 card get a design, right? So that means that they have 3 rows of 5 columns, right? Now, one thing I think I might have skipped, but maybe I'm just repeating myself. When you place cards, this goes back to placing cards, rooms, or anything, it has to be a checkered pattern. So it has to be plant, room, right? Then what would we have? Plant. So it'd be a room and a plant if we were to finish this out. And then down here, it would go room, plant, right? It has to be checkered. The whole board has to be checkered. Let's see if I can find a picture. I don't think it shows it in here. Oh yeah, there we go. Nope, that's the market. Sorry, I'm trying to find a picture since I didn't set up a whole thing. I think in the scoring they have it. I could do this, because there we go. All right, so we'll use this as our explanation. So I'm sure it's pretty simple, but it's checkered. See, plant, room, plant. So then this has to be room, plant, room, right? So on and so forth. Now you can place the cards wherever you want, connected to these rules wherever you want. You don't have to just do the row, do a row, but you have to keep that in mind, right? So you can't have plant next to plant. You can't have room next to room. All right. So once everyone has their 15 card grid, so 3 rows and 5 columns, then it's scoring time. So then we go on to score things, right? So first thing that we do is we score all completed plants. So you remember, like I told you guys, once you hit that verdancy number, you go ahead and pick a pot and you put it on there. That means the plant is scored. And you would get the full points, 8 points. So you go ahead and you count all those. Once you've counted all those, the next thing that you do is you look at any extra verdancy. And that means plants that didn't get potted. There's no pot on the plant. That means you get half of whatever the verdancy is. So we'd have 8, 4, 6. I'm trying to find an uneven. Okay, so here's an uneven one. Let's say this one's in there. You get half and you round down. So for 5, you would get 2 points. So you add all that together. The next thing that you look at is your pot bonus. So as I said, we'll flip these over now. There's 3 points, right? There's a 2 point, and there's a 1 point, and then these have no points on, right? There's no points on these at all. All right, so if you have these, you would flip them over and you would count up all your points, right? So you'd count up all the points for that. Once you do that, you go ahead and do your room bonus, right? So you go ahead and you look at your rooms, and there are 5 different colors. I don't think I have all 5 colors out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of the colors. Oh, orange. Nope. There's another color. There's 5 colors of rooms, right? There's also 5 colors when it comes to the plants too. So if you have at least in your house, you have at least 1 of each of the 5 colors, you get a bonus 3 points. I want to make sure that I said that right. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping forward. First you do the room bonus. Whew, that's bad. So the room bonus, what it means is, here, we'll grab this card. Remember what I was telling you guys? If you put an item there that matches either the color, or sometimes there's items here, like there'll be a dog in the picture. Either you match the item or the color, you get this bonus down here, right? And if you have those plants next to this room, you get +1. So you score that bonus. That's the room bonus. I was mixing that up with, I can't remember now the other bonus's name, the decor bonus. So room bonus is this right here. You have an item there, you can go ×2. If not, you get 1 point for every plant that matches. See how that matches that, right? All right, and it looks like colors. You can look at the colors too, and that helps match. All right, so room bonus. There we go. Then we go to furniture and pets. So you have pets, you have furniture. If you have unique pets and furniture, right? Then you get bonuses, right? So you look at how many unique things you have. If you have if you have different ones, you get points. There's solo mode. So there's a chart that you can look at right here. I wish this was a little bigger. Let's see if we can get it a little higher. So you get a certain amount of points for all your furniture and pets. So if you have one, you get 1.3366, or sorry, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, 5, 5, or 512. You got what I'm saying, right? You could see it, not what I'm saying. For each number of bonuses, you get that many points. So in this case, there's one, they would get 1 point. If they had 2 unique animals, they would get 2 points, so on and so forth. So you look at your furniture and your animals, and you get bonuses. Oh, come on, Steven, we could do this. So here we go. There's that right there. This tells you all the scoring, right? And then the last thing you do is collector and decor. Collector means plant, decor is the color. This is the rooms where I had messed up. You go ahead and you look for that. So there's those numbers. So what that means is what you want to do is, in that case, if you have at least 5 of the different colors, right? Like I said, there's 5 different colors for plants and for rooms. If you have at least 5 of the different colors, you get plus 3 points. If you have at least 5 of the different plants, and you can also look at the color for the plants, that's 3 points. So you can get 3 points there and 3 points there. So besides having this to tell you guys, you also have a score pad, which I'm going to have to do the laminate on. But you get a score pad to do it, and these are dual-sided score pads to go ahead and run down. Now that's just if you play the basic game. Now if you play the advanced with the scoring, you have these right here. And so what you're looking at is what your, what are these? I think it's plant room, plant goals, if anybody hits the plant goal. Now this one says for each missing plant type, you get 2. So if you don't have all the plant types, you get 2 points. This one is item goals. So items are like these things. It says for each terracotta, oh, they're going with these over here. For each terracotta pot, you get 2 points. And then the last one is the rooms. And for example, this one says for each room with 2 or more plant type matches, you get 1 point. So it would mean if there was another one, well, this would have to be cactus. I don't have any matching right here. But if you had these, right, it says for each room with 2 or more. So you'd have to have 2 of these connected that match. You would get that bonus 1. So you go ahead and you have those scores, and then you can total everything up, and then you see who wins. Now, if the person that has the most points, hit the camera, is tied, you go ahead and you look at who has the most green thumbs still left over. Remember, you can only have 5. So let's say these 2 players were tied at the end. They had 2, they would win. But if there's still a tie, it's 2 and 2, then it's a shared victory. Oh, I hit this camera and it moved it really bad. And so that is how you play Verdant, right? From Flatout Games. I'm Steven with Cardboard Coalition. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.